Bitcoin is right now creating a new symmetrical triangle, and moments ago Donald Trump officially pardoned Ross Ulbricht, and this is once again another signal that he is doing things that he of course promised to do, just like he promised to make a Bitcoin strategic reserve here. So honestly, there are a lot of things we need to talk about right now here. Bitcoin is creating a major new consolidation phase. I'm exactly going to be talking about the expectations we currently have on this breakout on Bitcoin right now. Of course, I'm going to be talking about all the data points that are suggesting we are literally about to be getting a major rally towards the upside, because this is clearly what happened every single time previously around here. So without any further ado, guys, today's video will be packed with information about what is about to be happening next in the upcoming period in the market. I'm going to give you all the data points, the most important charts, and much more on today's update video. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again slap that like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, of course, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So if we're looking at the immediate short term, we can see Bitcoin dumping, pumping, dumping, and then pumping again here. And basically what we can currently see here is that basically people are not quite sure what is about to be happening next year. So basically what happened, of course, yesterday, Donald Trump didn't mention any Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin went down again here. And now he's doing a lot of things he also promised, like, of course, freeing and officially pardoning Ross Ulbricht. And that is, of course, an extremely bullish thing here, because he also promised to do things with Bitcoin, and then of course talking about a strategic reserve. So I am very excited for what is about to be happening next year for Bitcoin. Honestly, we're creating this symmetrical triangle, a downward sloping resistance line, an upward sloping support line, and really whenever we're either breaking above the resistance, we're going to be flying higher, or whenever we break below support is whenever we're going to be having that next major breakdown here. So honestly, I am very excited for what is about to be happening next year. I'm just going to be closely looking at this pattern, and whenever we do see that next breakout is where the next direction is going to get called here. And of course, if we do see a bullish breakout, the next target is going to be laying somewhere around 116,000 US dollars. And honestly, if the US government creates a strategic reserve, I really do not think $115,000 is going to be the next stop, but I do think we're going to be flying ever so slightly higher here. But yeah, you can see on most of the other charts that ultimately we are looking very strong. We're about to be setting a new all-time high here, and ultimately what we can see here is that we're just having a very strong trend towards the upside right now here. We broke most of the downward sloping resistance lines. We're breaking outside of the descending triangle, and ultimately, if we're just looking at the fact that what happened previously around whenever we had the US inauguration, it always was like 280 days following that event here. We always saw major rallies across especially altcoins, but also across Bitcoin. So why wouldn't it be different this time around here? And for example, of 2021, this is how it looked like in 2021. We just had a major rally higher, and now we're in 2025, and something similar is of course expected. So yes, if you're looking at whenever all these presidents got elected, of course, there's a major time difference between them, and that is why the Bitcoin price is ultimately going higher, because I do believe that Bitcoin goes up with time here. But basically, if you're just looking at the charts, you can see that usually after the inauguration, just days after, is whenever the real exponential rally for Bitcoin really starts here. So that is, of course, making myself extremely excited. Then also, before I dive even deeper in towards the content, the Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong also said that President Donald Trump here is very excited about the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Basically, if I'm going to quote him, he was saying, I think he is excited about it. He really wants to be the first Bitcoin president. So honestly, Brian Armstrong has also talked to him twice, one time before the election and one time after the election. And he just thinks he's going to be doing it. And ultimately, that is already a very positive sign, because Brian Armstrong is, of course, a very powerful man in the cryptocurrency industry. Then, before diving further in towards the deep dive on Bitcoin, we're right now also seeing that once again the spot Bitcoin ETF is buying major amounts of Bitcoin again here, with especially BlackRock buying large amounts here. BlackRock is not only buying Bitcoin, but they're also buying huge amounts of Ethereum. And yeah, that is of course ultimately a very bullish thing here. The spot Bitcoin ETF is ultimately standing at all-time highs here, and actually last time around on January 17th, we saw over $1 billion worth of inflows, which is definitely one of the largest inflows we have seen in a very long time here. So ultimately, the spot ETF is very strong right now here. And if we're just looking at Bitcoin and its timing, usually during February, we tend to have a very strong price action. And like we have stated many times before on the channel or on my X page, guys, we're currently in a small little consolidation, but whenever we break outside of it, we are going to see that next major leg higher here, and probably there's going to be somewhat of a catalyst what is going to cause this, just like the spot Bitcoin ETF caused this one. I do really think a potential strategic reserve could cause the next leg towards the upside. So I'm very excited for that here. Honestly, the chart is looking very much like it is going to be exploding. We had the liquidity grab, and now we're just sitting around all-time highs, and we already set a new all-time high actually already. So things are looking very strong here. Bitcoin also on the weekly time frame broke the downward sloping resistance line, exactly retested as support. And now if we're just purely going to be looking at the cycle and what is the timing right now we're looking at, it doesn't really make a lot of sense that we're going to be topping out right now here, since we're only 245 days in after the Bitcoin halving, and usually this lasts approximately 365 to 550 days here. So we got at least another 120 days in this bull market. And remember, the most amount of gains are always made in the last part of the cycle, just like you can see over here. In literally the last, 30 days of the cycle, Bitcoin went up 550% here. And in here also, in the literal last 30 days, Bitcoin went up 260%. And here also in the last, 30 days, Bitcoin went up about 100% here. So really, you have to understand that the fact that in the last part of the cycle, the last part of the bull market is really where the most amount of gains are secured. And guys, if you right now want to be trading Bitcoin or maybe any other cryptocurrency out there, there's a huge deposit bonus right now running on Blofin, because you can currently claim an insane $100,000 deposit bonus. And yeah, you can claim it right now if you sign up an account using that link below here. So if you're interested, go to the highest link description of today's video, and then you come to this page where you can sign up an account to Blofin. So yeah, if you're interested in trading Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies with leverage, check it out in the link description of today's video. Further on, I want to be discussing, of course, the demand change of new and old supply here. Honestly, this is something very interesting to be seeing here. We are definitely not seeing peak demand yet here, but of course you have to understand that the prices are also higher. And also, if we're just going to be looking at the fact of the exchange reserves, we can currently see it massively drop here, indicating more and more people are holding it for the longer term perspective. And yeah, ultimately Bitcoin is just showing a lot of signs that it is absolutely going to be exploding, especially soon here. And yeah, if you're looking at Ethereum, not really performing very strong here. But yeah, according to a previous cycle, it took us 252 days after the Bitcoin halving before setting a new all-time high. Now we're 273 days in here. But just like you can see last time around, the last period was where Ethereum, of course, went the most exponential. So it could go very quickly. Of course, at the Bitcoin dominance, we can just still see nothing really happened over here. And ultimately, whenever we do see altcoin season get started, it changes very quickly. Just look at last time around in 2021. No one expected it. And then boom, in just a matter of like a couple weeks, the Bitcoin dominance dropped from 66% all the way down to 40%. And that was just a very sharp move that caught a lot of people off here. And ultimately, if you were in there before this major dump happened, that is where you made the insane amount of money on the altcoins. So altcoin season really is showing us like it is about to start anytime soon here. And I want to be in the most amount of altcoins that are likely going to be exploding before we dump towards the downside. And I do really think this is going to be happening. It's taking longer than expected, but ultimately that doesn't really matter for me, because now it gives myself more time to actually prepare for that next altcoin season. So this is it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, learn something from it, don't forget to slap on that like button, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow on another update video. Peace out. Goodbye.